Nerd on the Podcast is proudly partnered with Apogee Electronics and Odyssey Headphones, leaders in the field of audio.
Throwing old people.
Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, and where all levels of nerd are welcome. Kicking off our month celebrating Black artists and art, we got an action-packed love letter to the genre with this Wildstorm comic. Today we are diving into Adam Freeman's and Marc Bernardin's limited series run, The Highwaymen. But before... explosion. But before we do that, let's introduce the hosts. I am Josh.
My name's Tom.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Corey.
And this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon.
Oh.
Whoa. As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun perks, like you get early access to these episodes. You get bonus episodes that nobody else hears. They're just for you. You get exclusive access to channels on our Discord server that are only for you and other members of the Nerd On Nation, where you can talk to us and have little like behind the scenes conversations. You do get, there's this fun little feature on Patreon that we can share like behind the scenes photos and videos and stuff that we use. That's fun. But yeah, check that out, nerdon.tv/Patreon. It does allow us to grow. It allows us to keep upgrading our content. Like we upgraded our cameras after years and years and years.
Yeah.
And there is
Oh, Tom.
There is the bonus episode of last month. We talked about the upgrade and what the Nerd On Nation has allowed us to do. We talked about other things, but that was a part of the episode.
Pretty big.
Yeah, the Nerd On Nation allows us to grow and just be the best that we can be. So check that out and check out that Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord.
Also, if you tune in this Sunday, we have a live update show coming up.
Yep.
Wahoo!
February 7th, in case you're listening after or before or whatever. Our other weekly show, the Nerd On Update, we're going to do live on Twitch. And
For you!
3 p.m.
3 p.m. PST. PST. So yeah, hope to see you in the chat. We'll be taking questions, of course, from the submission form or the email, but also from the chat. So it'll be a fun time. It will be had by all. But also a big shout out to our partners, Apogee and Odyssey. Apogee have equipped us with these microphones, the Hype mic. Some of you have reached out.
The ultimate podcasting microphone.
Some of you have reached out to us to ask us what we use, and it is the Hype mic. Cannot recommend it enough. It is, you can use it on everything. From mobile devices to Mac to PC. We use it on everything. Podcasts, video, Twitch, everything.
OnlyFans.
On our OnlyFans. Nerdon.tv / No, just kidding.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Has
check
anyone
out.
here used it for a phone call yet? Because you can plug it into iOS devices. I kind of want to call someone with it. Just like an actual... You did?
I've FaceTimed.
Not FaceTime. I mean just an actual phone call using it.
On
Because
iOS, it does the same.
I'm kind of curious if everyone's
That's like try hard business. Come
I know, but I'm
on.
just saying I want to see if anyone's like, you sound great, by the way. What phone do you have?
That is
That
like the
sounds
new
like
Bluetooth.
the most like
the Bluetooth thing. That's what it is.
Anyway.
That's so extra.
Yeah, I don't mean to anyone important. I just mean like when you call your mom next, like plug in the Hype
How about I
mic.
call you after this?
There you go. There you go.
And a huge shout out to Odyssey headphones. We are using their LCD ones. They are a wonderful open back headphone that I'm just going to repeat myself. Cannot recommend enough. Very comfortable for long sittings. Like we are recording for hours and hours and hours with these on our head pretty much the entire time. And they sound great. So check them out. They also have their gaming headset that just came out recently, and that is a hot commodity. It is selling hardcore. And also the Mobius headphones. Ooh, damn. They're super good. So check them out. Odyssey headphones. And really, they're an awesome company. They have great people over there. Shout out to Grover and Jaron. Just really great people. And we'll have more of them in our stuff in the near future. But yeah, that's the housekeeping. Shall we get into this hyperbolic explosion of awesomeness that is the Highwaymen.
You're hyperbolic
Press the red
explosion of obstinance, Josh.
Thanks.
Yeah, you like
Oh.
that? You like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, if you are brand new to Nerd On, we're going to jump into our first two segments, which is, at the end of the episode, since this is a one-time volume limited series, it's a completed work. Can you believe it, guys? We did a comic book that's completed. We haven't done that since Witches.
From my understanding. So there could be, I hear that it's in
limited series,
development.
Moa.
I can believe we've done it now.
So, I mean, technically, I think with limited series, it kind of works like with miniseries or limited TV series. Like, they just know, like, how long it's going to be. And since that DC Wildstorm was like, hey, here's 5 issues, do your story. So, yeah, it could definitely come back. Who knows? I would like to see a movie version of this. But at the end of the episode, we're going to go rate this boy. We're going to rate this bad girl. So good. So that brings us to our first segment, which is going to be... Guess that Grump.
Bruce Willis, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jason Statham, they all like these things.
We really need a theme song.
I feel like Tom and Corey just had that such on lock that I just wanted to watch the masterpiece that they
You
created.
just kind of want to
together.
sit back and...
See,
Yeah.
I just wanted to name as
you
many
know?
action stars as I could think of.
see,
You did a really good job. I heard like
I'm music.
I looked up a list earlier, so
I'm music. Corey's lyrics. I'm
Yeah.
Drew
And
Barrymore.
I would do sound
He's
design.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Josh
He's
is
Jason
going to be the
Mraz.
sound design, actually.
Yeah.
I'm Jason Scott Lee.
Josh,
Hello.
please add an explosion to it.
Note taken.
Retroactively,
post.
you'll know that now.
So guess that. So right now, if you're brand new, this first segment, Guess That Grump, is where we're gonna go around the digital screens. If you can't see it, it's because it's on YouTube, and you should be watching on YouTube to see all the facial expressions, the minutia, the betrayal that happens.
The mustache.
And we're gonna guess who's gonna have the lowest score for the week.
Haberdashery.
Now it is a scale from 1 to 5. Now, however, how high the number is, the lowest one of the group will be the Grump for the week. And since I always get it right, I never improvise this. I'm gonna go first and say that. The Grump for this episode will probably be Corey. No, yes, I said it. I put his name in the Goblet of Fire, and that's I put the wrong
His name in the goblet of fire.
You wanted to go with Corey?
one. No,
I feel like
what he said.
He said the
said
words,
it.
and
What
it's
he
like
said.
right.
it's like he sent a text that he can't unsend. He was like, Corey, oh no, it's sent.
I'm writing it down, Tom. It's official. It's in pen and ink. Right? Who's
It's
next?
that eggplant to your in-law. You're like, oh no.
Who's next? Caitlin, Josh.
Caitlin.
Ooh.
You think it's going to be me?
Yeah, just
No. No.
I
I
immediately
think it's going to
regret this decision.
be
May.
Tom.
It's gonna be May.
I really don't like this. Was actually really difficult to choose for, so I'm just kind of gut picking Tom.
This is
even though
becoming
it's
the
wrong.
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
Wow. So really, if I vote Josh, it's a clean sweep of everyone got a vote. And
How
I'm
tempting
really,
is that?
I don't think it's right though.
But you're
but
chaotic neutral sometimes.
I gotta do it. So
you gotta do it to him.
Everybody
We all-
got a vote just because.
we all gotta vote.
But the more
But-
important vote,
The most important vote.
I
the
think
votist
No, you
with
know
the
what?
mostest.
Because I don't think it's gonna be Josh. I really don't.
But you
And
said
he really wants to be right. So
Yeah, I don't want to play the neutral.
I
gonna say
don't
Tom.
want to be Switzerland.
I'm gonna say Tom.
All right, my bad.
So
my bad.
Josh doesn't get. Josh, you don't get a vote.
Fine.
This is the one time you like don't want to vote. You're like, yeah, all right.
Fine.
Okay. Whatever. Do what
Okay.
you want.
But is that all our voting today, Tom?
No.
It's not all of our voting today. Listen up. Coming close. Listen. Do you want to participate? You want to be in on this? You want to get on this action? I'll let you in on a little secret. You join that Nerd On Nation, you get to participate in the poll. You get to let us know, hey, Corey, I think you're wrong. I think Josh was the grump. Am I saying that's who voted for? No, I'm not. I'm just giving an example here. Chill out. But listen, if you get it right, you get a shout out on our show and you become the grass-fed Gatorade, grass-hopping, gas-guzzling, nausea-inducing,
Gluten-free.
grumper,
Gas-fueled.
gluten-free. Yeah, grumper, guesser. So the Nerd On Nation has spoken. And Caitlin, You're their vote.
Wow.
Bum, bum,
So that means it's going to go Josh first. Then it's going to be me, baby, me. And then it's between Tom and Caitlin at the end. So,
Whoa. I have
That's
2
that.
votes?
yeah, I gave you one. And Caitlin gave you one.
Yeah, remember he didn't go neutral.
Yeah,
I just didn't
go
think of the
neutral.
first vote.
Yeah.
Bless.
Well, you
God.
could have changed your mind.
God bless.
We actually
Yeah,
do
don't
allow
put
that,
your
but I
rules
wanted to
on
make
me.
you feel like you committed to your decision and couldn't go back.
No. That is
so
the
yeah,
world
so
of the
yeah.
internet. Shout
So
out to James
Josh,
Gunn.
Corey, and then Tom and Caitlin.
Okay.
All right. Well, now we'll go into the complete spoiler of all that, and then hopefully see if these guesses were founded in baseful claims. We're gonna go to our initial reactions and our first impressions. Everyone, who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Just to
Yeah,
say
not
it.
surprised. Not
Yeah.
surprised.
This comic is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun that I read it 4 times.
Wow.
I
Good thing I changed my vote. Jesus.
this comic is not meant to be taken seriously whatsoever. And it was just a fun ride, like back to front. Like after the first way through, I was like, this is fun. And then like, I was like, I would watch a movie of this.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Pierce Brosnan, Keith David, maybe?
Okay.
that-
Man, yeah.
Oh, shit, girl.
I thought about that. I was like, and for the girl, it could be anybody. Even like Zendaya could play the girl. Like you need a young, early 20s. Anyway,
But let's all be honest. It's going to be Anya Taylor-Joy. Everyone just wants her in everything.
that was the first thought because I was like, she's super hot right now. She's in like
Everyone just puts her in
everything.
everything.
And the Queen's Gambit is amazing. Everybody needs to watch it.
But
no,
Zendaya was in it.
this was just such a fun ride. There were a lot of things that were just like, it's like you took popcorn movies and comic books that I love and just was like,
Turned it up to 11.
put them together and turn them up to 11.
That was Josh
Get the
hitting
ch-
his mic.
Yeah.
Just
sorry.
for the record, Josh never does that. I just wanted to point
He's
it
so
out.
excited.
It was cheesy AF and I loved it. And scene. Next person.
I'll go. This is my first time reading this.
No,
However,
Kaylin, he did not.
I'm
like the
waiting for
comic.
Josh to say one thing in particular, and trust me, I will explode with my whole life because I literally pictured Josh saying this thing since I read the comic. So
Is it and scene or pulling the veil back?
We'll get there. We'll get there. You'll know when you know.
So, first time reading it, but I have been a long time Marc Bernardin fan thanks to Tom.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of an echo chamber here to what Josh said, but it's just like, it's like going to see a Godzilla movie. Like, you're like, look, I'm going to just go see some weird shit for the next 5 issues. And I don't care why, and I don't care how. And you know, I think these are the type of stories, and I think I talked about this on our Speaking of Godzilla episode, where if you start to inject too much explanation, it starts to lose it. It starts to lose its legs on everything. You're like, well, now you're bringing in realism to it. So I guess, how did he do that? If you really want to, that's why I like Godzilla films where you're just like, he's big as shit and we don't know why. And he's here.
And lasers.
Atomic breath.
And this is exactly that. Yeah,
Oh,
this
sorry.
is exactly that. Like, I really don't want to know more about these guys, like their past or anything. I kind of, or like beyond what I saw in these 5 issues, like I'm good. Like if they want to make more, great, but don't start like, don't Ocean's 12 me and tell me why people are the way they are. I don't want to know.
Nah.
Yeah, I think it's just like fun from start to finish. I didn't read it 4 times, but I did read it all in one sitting because I couldn't stop myself and I couldn't stop watching where it was going. Yeah, that's it.
Hear me out.
Kaylin, you or me? Oh, sorry. Josh,
Guy
I said
Ritchie or Edgar Wright directing?
No.
No? Okay, cool.
I would. Edgar Wright.
Josh just, I mean, not that those are bad choices, but Tom
I
didn't
think you
follow
get
that
Shane
up.
Black.
I didn't think
Oh.
you followed up with anything.
You win.
There you go.
You get Shane
Yeah,
Black.
you should
get-
maybe follow those up, Tom. With
Shuts
no,
him
but
down,
I think
lets him
Yeah,
sit
just-
in it,
no.
doesn't follow up.
anyway, moving on.
You were not rewarded any points. Gryffindor, 50 more points, please. But Kaylin, you or me? Who you want to go?
You.
Me. Okay. So I got this a while ago because I was listening to Fatman Beyond. And Marc Bernardin was actually talking about Genius, another comic book that he did. And then I just like looked up on the internet of like, okay, Marc Bernardin things. And we picked this, and, we're starting off, February, just the shortest month in the year to celebrate wonderful Black art and Black media. But Marc Bernardin is someone that I've, like Corey says, like I'm a fan of, and, we want to be, talking about all different things, films, comic books, movies, and everything like that. So, two things: TV shows, video games, anime. But
I get what you're saying.
So we decided on this one, and I haven't actually read it until getting ready for this episode, and kind of the same way where it was just like, oh man, I gotta read this for the show, and then I just turned on some music, and then kicked my feet up on the desk, and then I didn't put it down. I've just finished the book, and it was lovely. It was enjoyable, and like we've all heard already, it's like the most wonderful. Like imagine like a Fast and Furious spy agent thing, right? It's explosions and wonderful.
Get Justin Lin to direct it.
Yeah. Or Marc Bernardin.
Okay.
Directorial debut. I don't know.
There you go.
He's worked on other film things, but I mean, I don't know. So like, it's fun. It's enjoyable. And everyone gets their part. Everyone gets to have their fun, and everyone shines in such a way. And it to me, if you read it and you listen to Fatman Beyond, but also that Marc Bernardin has gone to conventions and done writer activities where they're like, okay, today for this hour we're going to write Knight Rider. And so we all know 3 things have to happen. This has to happen. There has to be a woman of interest, and something has to happen with the car scene, and then it ends. So like Highwaymen feels like kind of like not like a masterclass per se, but like again, it's a love letter. It's someone who knows the beats and rhythms of this genre, and then plays to it at every moment of like, here's the inciting action that's like, okay, this sets these events in motion. Here is the first twist. Here is the characters. Here's the, what we're doing with these characters, where we're going to go at the second twist. And then finally, like the cathartic battle between who has to fight. And obviously there's like 2 chase scenes. So it's that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I really recommend it if you have not read comic books or you're like kind of worried about it. This is like a perfect, I think almost like one of the perfect like voyages into comic books, because it's like so not heavy and you kind of know where it's going, but it's delightful to see like how it's done. Caitlin.
Oh man.
I hated it.
I liked it. So this gave me like James Bond, Kingsman, Bad Boys, like all the vibes from all the things that I really like. So I really liked it. Like it's just like Josh is totally right. It was super cheesy. Like everything was super over the top.
One-liners,
one-liners galore. Like they weren't
Can't be hurt by bullets. Like
yeah, like just running
logic
out
gaps
into
that you're like, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they get the car and you're like, that never would have happened, but of course it happened here. So tell me what happens next. So like
physics works like that.
Yeah, it super doesn't, but you're like, you're suspending your disbelief while you're suspending your disbelief. So you're just like, yes, give me more. I know exactly what this is. Okay, great. Awesome. And then it's great. It's super fun. It's super cool. I love it.
Super cool.
Super cool.
So now we'll go on to our next 2 segments, which are going to be our brief synopsis and our production. And the brief synopsis will be given to us by
me.
Okay.
I don't know why I said it so ominous, but so this was written by Marc Bernardin and Adam Freeman, art by Lee Garbett, cover by Brian Stelfreeze, collecting the high-octane 5-issue miniseries In Their Prime, Able Speed Monroe and Ichabod McQueen were couriers capable of ferrying anything, anywhere, anytime. Now almost obsolete, they're called out of retirement to deliver some very dangerous cargo for a dead president. If only they knew what it was and why everyone else wants to kill them for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did half the production for me. So I'll do that next, which is going to be publications Wildstorm Productions, or it's now defunct. It's all part of DC. But Wildstorm, who's given us such things, David Barry would be proud. The Authority, Wildcats, and then this one I picked out for Boom. Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, the Nightmare Warriors.
Ooh, yes.
Hell yes.
The writers, as already said multiple times, Marc Bernardin, who's written things such as Genius episodes for Castle Rock and Static Shock Supercharged, the comic book series. Adam Freeman, we're familiar with his works. We've done some of this stuff last year. Who written stuff for The Authority, Night Watchers, and X-Men Origin comic books. Artist Lee Garbett, or Garbet, as we mentioned earlier, who's done work on Witches. Check that episode out. We cover that as well. Skyward, Batman, R.I.P. And colorist Johnny Wrench, who's done work on World of Warcraft, Book 4, Gears of War, and Ratchet and Clank. The letterer, Rob Lee, who's worked on things such as Action Comics, Blue Beetle, and Wonder Woman. Now, the publication date is weird. I looked this up multiple times, and some of them were saying like March 2007. Some of them were saying June 2007. So I'm going to say the exact date that I found on the DC website, which is June 20th, 2007. It's a 5-issue run, so it lasted for 5 months. It was a limited series total, and the copies sold is unlisted because it's Tiny Boy. It's a tiny book.
Tiny boy.
So that's all I got for you. And now we move on to our complete spoilers of everything. So if you haven't read it, pause the episode. We'll wait for you.
It's a quick,
we're going to talk about
quick,
all
easy read. It's only 5 issues.
It really is.
Yeah.
I
So
think each one's only about 30
20
to 35. I think is the
Oh
average.
no, one of them was like 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's
So
short.
average is
short.
around.
It's a
30.
picture book.
Quit.
So yeah, when we'll go on to our favorite characters, favorite parts, our qualms, and then finally our rating. Who wants to go first?
Throwing old people.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I almost brought
I
that
told
up
you it
in
was
my
a good
initial
idea.
thing, but I was like, I can't bring that up yet. 'Cause that
When
might be
it
a
comes
spoiler.
back, I love a good callback, and that's the best one. They're throwing old people at us. I told you it was a good idea.
Dude. And oh man, and when Abel like shoots the guy, like shows up to the bus and is like, sorry, it has to go down like this. And you think that he shoots him, but he's actually shooting the guy on the other side. I always love moments like that. That's like,
Yeah.
I love that so
Well,
much.
it's done well because you don't see the other guy coming.
Exactly.
It's really done bad in a lot of times because you see the guy coming and you're like, well, shoot that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, come on, man. But one thing I will say, like, I really like, because Marc Bernardin is obsessed. I will say it, obsessed. And Corey, you might like this. He loved Logan, obviously, because he likes the
'Cause it's a great
story
film.
of old people being, hey, one last ride. And it's just like, all right, we're doing
So
it
Fast
again.
7.
So, no, Fast 7's not about old people.
Doesn't be one last time. Or
They're saying that.
I'm just kidding.
But like, you know, like it's Lethal Weapon 4 of like,
Right.
you know, now the joke of
Okay,
I'm getting
okay,
too old for
okay.
this is now
Yeah.
we're too old for this. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so he's a big fan of that. And so seeing this, it's like, yeah, it's guys in their 60s who are like, all right, let's go. But they're still just as capable because of the technical skill they have, not because of the physical abilities they have to perform.
I got new casting.
Go on.
Because I was trying to think about it, and as much as I love Keith David, he's 70. He's in his mid 70s or late 70s now.
That's what
think-
that's the age that I think of them as in their 60s.
So
Oh, I
is
thought they
Ron-
were in their. My bad. I thought they were. To me, they're in their early 60s.
But so is
well,
Ron
Keith David
Perlman.
is 60 something, and Pierce Brosnan
he's
is 67.
I thought
And
I
so
thought Keith
give me
David
your
was in
cast.
his 70s.
Give me your cast.
I thought they were like late 50s, early 60s in my reading. So I say Colin Firth and Wesley Snipes.
Oh,
So I want to snipe a sans.
Keith David is 64.
My bad.
I even thought
was in
Ewan
the 70s.
McGregor, because Ewan McGregor's now in his 50s.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch that. Sorry, that was a little. That
And
was
here's
a
the
little
thing: if they did a
heavy-handed
movie,
of my intention,
they could
but
be a
still.
little bit fluid
Younger?
with the ages.
I
so to
was
speak.
gonna say Ian McKellen as the dude because I think he's so
they're
suave and
80?
sexy. Okay, look, all homo. Ian McKellen is a sexy old ass white
Yeah.
guy, and I'm like, he could fucking play this character off. He's like fucking suave as shit. And would
Yeah.
you not want to see him in a fucking nice ass suit? I'm like, I'd see it. I'm here for it. I'm here for the super old casting.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Here for it.
But anyways, more favorite parts.
Yeah, when they are getting the car together, when they're kind of in that like bunker kind of thing, and there's this side by side shot with McQueen and Abel. McQueen's holding a gun, and Abel's holding an impact drill, and it's just
Yeah.
this like really cool, almost Charlie's Angels, like ready to go kind of thing. And then right after that, when they escape, the explosion behind them, the cars driving through it, and McQueen just says, "We really need a theme song." Like it's like a breaking of the fourth wall that you're like, I'm here for this. I'm totally here for this.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nice because again, you have both characters who aren't complete douches. And I think that's the tough thing that you run into when you do these kind of buddy cop things. Like someone's the douchey one. And with McQueen, it's more like they're both just so good at what they do. Like obviously Abel's like the reluctant character. So like, he's just like, I don't want this lifestyle anymore. I moved past it. But then McQueen's like,
I want to drive a bus.
This was the best thing that we ever did with our lives. And oh man, I also just love reading this now. It's based in 2021, y'all.
I know.
And William Clinton is dead. I'm like, yo, you got it kind of wrong, but also let's see how the rest of the year goes.
President's name? The current president? Nakatomi?
Oh yeah, from Die Hard.
Oh,
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
I knew it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's that love letter. It's that love letter stuff. And more favorite parts.
Oh, the stairs. The whole page of
with
him
the
going
axe.
down the stairs. Yeah.
Oh,
That-
my God.
That felt good.
'cause
I hate that felt good. Like
I read it, on my Comixology. Check it out, nerdon.tv/Comixology.
what he said.
And I had to double click to see the whole page because I knew exactly how. I was like, oh, this is one.
And like the
one
red
page.
squares of each interaction of like, and I love what he's like, that felt good. I really hate that felt so good.
It felt good. Yeah. I need bones breaking.
I actually really love, this is the biggest spoiler, I really love the end with Grace.
Oh man, Grace was
because-
so
13.
cool.
Yeah, and so there's that, and so Marc Bernardin is also really big on the villain has to fight the proper protagonist, and in this one there's 3 protagonists, right? You have Abel, and I keep forgetting about White Man, his name
Ichabod.
Ichabod.
Queen.
And then
Ichabod
you have
McQueen.
and you have Grace, right? And so like technically, you have number 1 who's like throwing all these waves of villains and goons over to these 2, and they're having to avoid them. But there's this level of like Grace having to get thrust into this world of adventure, and having to hold on her own. And it's not like she quickly gets over the, oh my God, my world. But it's just like, I don't know. Just the other day, I was worried about my friends having sex with random dudes. Now I'm having to worry about old people being thrown at me. And like she rises up to the occasion, and she ends up, on her own volition, looking up the last things that the doctor had told her and using that to her advantage. And those are the things that I'm like, yeah, like she would have not gotten the justice if she had not been able to fight number 1, because he's been looking for her. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe if X-Men 1 Rogue beat Magneto instead, I don't know. But it's like those kind of things where it's like, yeah, you are the architect of a lot of the pain and misery I've gone through for the last 24, 48 hours. But these guys is just a normal day for them, So it's like, I now get to grow into becoming one of the highway people, So I liked that part of the storyline where it's like, oh yeah, I guess this does make sense that she's the one that has to finish him off, even though, and it's because Abel and Monroe. Oh, Abel, Monroe, and Mr. McQueen and Monroe. That's why I was like, why am I getting them mixed up? So McQueen and them have like this hatchet they have to bury, and they grow as characters because, you get 2 old men who are stuck in their ways, who don't want to, get closure on whatever happened between them, finally being like, hey, you are important to me, and I will risk my life for you. And when they risk their lives for each other, they all get mad at it because it's like, dude, don't. But it's like, you got to do it. So
I want to bring up a fun and interesting little thing, because I had the same experience where I even now don't fully remember their names. Like, I know that they're the Highwaymen.
yes.
And like that title precedes their name. I read 5 issues of this comic and I still can't get their names right, but I know they're the Highwaymen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that works so perfectly with this whole, all 5 issues of like, it doesn't even matter if you don't know their name by the end of it, because that's not
the
point.
Highwaymen. That's the whole point.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like the opposing force. We're the clandestine agency. It's like, all right, it's like that.
Okay.
They're the bad guys. They're the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there's such, but I also like that the villain was like, yes, there's such a thing.
One part that it's one of those that makes you just like, is that they're in a high-speed chase and they're being shot at by a bazooka, and he hits the curb and the car flips and he misses the bazooka missiles, and you're like, I'll buy it.
Nah.
Hey,
Yeah.
no.
Hey, I've seen enough Grand Theft Auto 5 videos to know that is possible in that game.
Not even that, but you got to watch some Fast and Furious, and you'll realize laws of physics don't matter to rubber
Or
people.
Transporter. He does it in Transporter where he flips the car by the crane, and the crane sweeps the bomb off the bottom of the car.
Corey,
Are you kidding me?
It's Jason Statham. Leave him alone.
Wait, tell me what movie this is.
The Transporter.
I'm going to watch this and just have a camera on my reactions for me to get really mad. Same
Corey,
with Hot Rod.
I know you're kind enough to do this marvelous thing with Sierra, but we're going to do a furious thing with you and me.
Yeah,
and
hell yeah.
Like, there's so many times that people catch people in
Tom,
air.
we could start that now and just stream it on Discord or something.
There you go. There
They
you go.
would have exploded. Human pieces would have exploded by how much impact they've taken.
Yeah.
There's
That's
one
what I'm
thing-
saying. Director Jeremy Lin. Pierce Brosnan is the best
Justin
choice
Lin.
for this. Is it Justin?
Jeremy is the
Justin.
basketball player.
So, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Justin Lin. Asshole.
Other Asian homie.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Wesley Snipes though, and I'm gonna say I'm just stuck on this fan casting thing. Amanda Stenberg as 13.
Seinfeld?
No.
Who's Stenberg?
She was in.
That's not Chances of Rain from Mean Girls, right?
No.
That's Amanda Seyfried. Sorry.
Yeah.
Amanda?
No. She was in Darkest Minds, Hunger Games. She was Rue. Anyway,
Okay, for sure. Go
I
on.
think she'd be great. That's my cast. That's my fan cast for
Oh my
for everything.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Run from me. So,
And now I can't stop picturing that. I think I have to go back and read it with that cast in my mind.
one thing, just also talking about the physics, like when, like Marc Bernardin also mentioned on a podcast, and I thought it was really funny. He's like, in 2007, we did the car falling out of the C-130 first before all these movies did it. And I was like, it's true. This is so true.
You're right.
But there's one visual that I really liked is when Abel has the parachutes around his arms. That would rip your arms off.
Oh, yeah,
But it looks so cool.
It looks super cool.
I was like, oh, that's fucking metal. But I was like, his arms would be off at this
over
moment.
there,
Oh,
like,
yeah, no.
yeah.
Or like
Especially
when he hit,
like the thing was already up, so there's
Yeah.
no way he could have wrapped those.
but he's really strong.
He's so strong.
He's like an elf.
Right, sorry.
The older he gets, the stronger he gets.
Yeah, right. Sorry,
like
yep,
humans.
You're right.
This is the exact thing Kayla and I said I didn't want in this.
Yeah.
explanation.
No, I know.
This is why.
You're ruining it.
I'm sorry. No, it's perfect.
Josh?
The other moment is it's just before the scene that Corey brought up, the stair scene. And Grace is like, oh, please, you're going to pull the little girl card now? And he's like, you're a bomb. I don't think putting you in front of bullets is a great idea. And she goes, good
like,
point.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I did really
That
like
was
It comes back later. She says it again. And she's like, you're a bomb. Okay.
I did really like the explanation of who she was and how she was carrying the Rosetta virus and all that stuff. And I loved, it's just to me, like there's nice poetry. It's like a dance when you do like, are you saying, what am I have the vessel, I have this virus. She's like, no, you are the bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit. And I'm like, I really
liked
enjoyed
him
that.
Explaining too, he was like, thank God he shut us down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, damn. So he wasn't even like about it.
But also,
because he had to.
did anyone else read Clinton as you highwayman?
No, but
no.
now I will.
He's just like, I need you one more time.
I didn't have the patience to read it in his voice.
Presidential pardons waiting for you in my desk.
You know the one.
Oh God.
I had Monica put him there for me.
Oh,
You miss me yet?
Hey, he would have at that point.
That's
Yeah, he
true.
would have.
That is a factual.
That's not a slight. Actually,
Yeah.
following Monica Lewinsky on Twitter is the best thing ever.
I was gonna
She's
say.
pretty much amazing.
I was
so
gonna say, I was
she's-
like, and I wouldn't blame if he did again. Like, obviously
she's
he's
the-
married, so he'd get divorced first. But you know what I'm saying.
Well, no, let's not go there. But I'm just saying, follow her on Twitter because she is the best person.
Super cool.
I want to be her when I grow up.
I think overall, I like that the three mains each have their moment to shine. Like they all
have their
like
spot.
are on equal footing in terms of badassery. Like that's an official term.
Right.
TM. But yeah, the badassery is just Grace has her moment. All of them have their moment.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And like the villains.
I wanted to see more Bakers.
I did too.
I hope that there's more someday.
Like the superpowers and stuff.
But also, like, just the
But
naming
not, but they
convention is
are.
cool too. Like they're called the Baker's Dozen. It's like it sounds
just
simple,
like
but it
the
sounds so
13.
covert too.
Yeah. Dr. Baker and Baker's Dozen implies that there's 13 and it's great.
She's
Cool.
dangerous.
Next,
Wait,
next.
I really quickly.
I think we should
I
do
have
one
to know.
character. Oh,
I have to know Josh. What was your favorite villain?
Oh, I like the lead guy. He's a fucking robot. Kind of.
Robot Arm
damn.
Boy.
He's not going to say what you want him to say, Kaylin. So what do you want him to say?
I don't know why, but when I got to like the optical fire eye guy who can
The
like see all the
infrared, yeah.
guys, I don't know why, but the minute I read it, I just pictured Josh going, "He was so cool."
It was so cool. They all
Well,
are. The
thank you
girl
for
that like
placating me.
has like a 20-foot vertical leap. Like
Yeah.
badass.
There, see that
all
was
you
the
wanted.
face I was thinking of exactly.
Favorite character, I think
Insane.
it should be one. I think this has to be, you have to choose your favorite
Choose one,
character.
and two characters are not one person. The Highwayman is not one person.
Yeah. I'll start because I already have it. It's
Yeah, go
Abel.
for it.
Abel
Okay.
Monroe was my favorite character by a long shot. I thought he was, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're both really cool, but like he just seemed more fleshed out and badass and a little more, jack of all tradesy.
Next.
I'll go.
I like.
Jesus.
I'll go with McQueen. I just like how slick he is. And
Yep.
I can't help but like hearing like British accent and like
Pierce Brosnan, bro.
James Brown.
That's
Pierce
great
Brosnan.
casting.
James
You know?
Braun.
James,
Bond.
I mean, I'm just now imagining it.
Yeah, them and their curmudgeonly.
That's actually one of my read throughs was with the like fan casting in my head with the two of them,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, I loved McQueen, and I loved kind
Pierce
of like
Brosnan's great.
the little silliness with his name of like at the end where she's like,
Don't call me
oh
Ichabod.
yeah, I'd hate my mom too, or something like that. I don't remember the exact word.
Yeah.
Ichabod.
What about Idris Elba?
Kaylin.
It's not old enough, I
Ichabod.
don't
Copy paste.
I don't think he's old enough. Oh, wait, Ichabod and McQueen?
Yep.
For me, I like Grace Anderson.
Gosh, it was really cool though.
I liked her, yeah, because the thing that I really liked about her is that she, and this is something that like I have been struggling with, or at least I'm like getting through, is that when you write story, you really want to make sure that like you're having a bit of logic in there, an audience surrogate in a sense, where like Grace is like kind of like, can you guys drive? What's happening? No more question. No more. Just tell me what the hell's going on. Like, and there's that level of like, I've watched, again, I did that 30 days of horror movies, and I like 5 of those movies, I'm like, this all could have been solved if they just sat down and talked for like 10 minutes. And so that happens. She gets to the point where it's like, what's happening? Why am I in danger? Who are you guys? Don't touch me. These things where I'm like, yeah, these are very realistic things. Like the Abel and McQueen play up the, secret agent man. And I'm like, cool. But like, I like that she's like that real world pluck, and they pull her out of reality and put her into this world. But she still has those like, Patrick Dempsey from Enchantment, it's like, wait, so you guys only know each other for a day, yet you're getting married, like those kind of things where like she asks is like, okay, so wait, will you guys do this? Why aren't you guys friends? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you're like how old now? So it's like these kind of things where I'm like, yeah, it's good to have so that you let the reader know that the writer was thinking about it. And it lets them know like not that like, oh, is he making a bagel or is he making a donut? Like they might look the same, but like now like, okay, it's this. And like they're choosing which parts of the rules in the world are being used. So like her character really delivered a lot of that stuff, and I really liked it. Now, qualms. Qualms.
Qualms?
Who qualms first? Who qualmeth first?
I can go.
Go ahead.
I don't have any.
Okay.
Because why? Like, what do you do? You know, of course there are things that like don't make sense, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Why would you pick it apart?
Yeah. I'll go next. I have no qualms. Oh no, I do have a qualm. I wish there were more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, good point.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Tom, why don't
Yeah.
you go?
Yeah. Tom.
Same. I would want another one, but this is just one volume. And so if I'm just saying the volume, I can't ask it for be like, why don't you have a sequel? But I would say I would want the sequel to being like one of them is kidnapped and the entire issue is like them having to try to find each other again or something like that.
It would be Monroe. Monroe would get kidnapped
Yeah. And then you see
because
how
McQueen would be fighting his illness, and then Grace would have to like super step up.
yeah, and then
because she
also
has
you
to
could
deal
see
with
the
both.
fallout of like McQueen's assistant of like, can I really trust you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
You know, how his whole agency works and stuff like that.
No,
and then he
can't. I think
gains
that
more
was
of an
pretty
appreciation
clear.
for Monroe for all the things that he does that Grace now has to do, and then he has to like fill in, but he's like sick and it's hard.
Maybe you learn more about Monroe's family, non-family, who knows? But anyway, Corey?
For me, it was hard to tell some characters apart. The art style.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had to go back and reread the first issue because for a second I thought McQueen was the robot man from the first scene with the president.
Yeah, there were a couple of
I didn't
close-ups.
understand, and then I thought that the agent who broke in the beginning was then his assistant he was killing on the roof, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. And so then I figured out that they were different people and went back and read it. So that's, I guess kind of not just the art style, because I really did like the art style, to make it more focused. I wish the design for the lead villain was a little more unique.
Yeah, he's not a gray villain. The one thing I'll also say is, sorry, the end was, I kind of didn't know
He's choking
how
on his critique.
how Grace figured that out. And I had to re-look at all the moments that she actually researched it. And then I was like, oh, like there are very, very small things.
Yeah.
but
You
I
got to be
said
paying
it.
attention. Yeah.
And so like, if you just kind of read through it and be like, okay, yeah, remote, blah, blah, she's bombing. You won't know like, how did she figure out and so when she explained it, I was like, oh, let me go back real quick. I was like, okay, my bad.
Yeah, she's super smart.
That's why Saw movies re-show the entire movie at the very end.
That's why they do it.
Hey,
That's for me.
member?
Remember?
So now we'll go into rating.
Yeah. So first is Josh.
How long are you going to think about saying 5?
No, I wanted to look straight into the camera at Marc Bernardin and say
Oh, okay.
5. I love this.
Nice.
I wouldn't change a single thing about this comic. I love it. Hey, Mark.
Jesus.
Aw.
5 for Josh.
That's so sweet.
Next is
You have to
Corey.
change your pants, Corey? 'Cause I
Corey?
do. Yeah.
What?
Because Josh's like sultry thing is like, you gotta change your pants like I do.
Oh, I was writing a 5 down next to his name. I missed the sultry look. Mine's a 4.3. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend this to a lot of other people as well. Nothing wrong. There are other comics I like. And this is in that category of comics I like. Obviously, Over a 4 is still a masterpiece for me. And I think a lot of people who write one-shots could learn a lot from this. It's a good popcorny flick, but much like a Godzilla film, I'm never going to put that up with other films
You know,
of a higher caliber.
The Kingsman is a one shot like this, right?
No, I haven't read The Kingsman myself.
It's just like this. It's like
Yeah.
a love letter to the spy game. And then so when I was like, they have another movie. There's no more source. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, there's a
But,
third movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like there for me, it's just like there are many other X-Men and DC comics that rank higher, that I think tackle bigger subjects and stuff like that. And so 4.3 is where this lands on that barometer.
So wait, hold on. I was just thinking about it. Kingsman. So are we saying that we could do a Highwaymen 2 and then make a third sequel and call it The Highwayman?
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Highway
Because
Mans.
McQueen dies from his illness and it's just Abel and Monroe in 13.
Who knows? Well, no, the sequel Kingsman is a prequel. It's like from this was the first
so it'd be a prequel.
one.
So it'd be a
The first
1990
Highwayman.
the mid to late 90s during the Clinton administration. And
Yeah,
I got you.
Anyways,
All right, looking at you, Captain Marvel.
who's next? Corey?
It would be Caitlin or Tom.
Tom?
Okay, me first. 4.5. Solid 4.5. Very much like Corey. I think it's really good. But it's not like, oh my God. It's really good. I really recommend. It's like how I would rate most action flicks that are just like really expertly executed. Like it's really freaking good, and it's a well-crafted thing that everyone should admire and enjoy. But it's not
not
like,
the Prestige.
It's not like, oh my God, this piece of this should be in the MoMA, like no.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me.
Caitlin.
So if you've been paying attention to the very, very teeny tiny bottom part of my screen for the last like 3 minutes, I've been holding this up.
Oh my God.
So
wow. Easter eggs.
well, it's just like again, most of my scores are based on like the experience that come out of it. And like I remember going to the last page and be like, "Wee." So it's just like that was fun. That was nice.
You strike me as a child that got picked up a lot.
Picked up a lot?
Picked up a lot. Like, don't put me down.
No.
Well, maybe you wanted to.
I remember getting hung from a tree by the neighborhood kids with my coat. My family found me an hour later. So there's that.
Oh.
Maybe I just like things that make me smile and
so
say
did you say we?
No.
I'm the grunt.
Yes,
Tom is the only one who's right. Nerd on Nation didn't guess me at all. So Tom gets the prize. Tom gets a shout out on our show. Tom P. Well done.
Way to go, Tom.
You're out of
P.
focus right there, Tom. Just letting you know. You look like a blurry man.
A blurry man. That's a new comic, the Blurry Man
series. Blurry
Again, nothing against it. I just like comics a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. That has been our episode on the Highwaymen. Everybody at home, thank you so much for listening. If you have read the Highwaymen, reach out to us. Go over to our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. There is a comics channel on there. Let's continue the conversation over there. Fun stuff. If you're new to Nerdon, check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has it has all of the information on everything that we do, everywhere that we are. This podcast is on everything. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, everything. All the episodes are video, so check out our YouTube. We have 2 YouTube channels. We also have Twitch. So do check that out. And do consider joining the Nerd on Nation.
Tom's like,
it does,
I have it. Comixology.
It does allow us to keep growing and to be the best that we can be. And yeah, speaking of Comixology, if you want to help the show and buy comics, nerdon.tv/Comixology. A little bit of each sale goes to us, and you get to read comics. It's fun stuff. Stop by, subscribe, rate, review, share us with your friends and family, all that stuff. That's how we grow. But yeah, that's it. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.